Hi everyone, thanks for sticking with us as we move into the guest bedroom. After I deal with the bane of my existence, popcorn ceilings, I move on to painting. We use a 2-in-1 paint and primer, which starts out pink and then when it dries it turns white. This stuff is super cool.
Falling to pieces in my room. Are you coming over? That's cool. I could use a little something to do. We could go outside, take a little ride if you want.
When it comes to uneventful paint projects, we typically divvy up the tasks. So Dee started by painting the walls with a paint roller and I started trimming the doors and the baseboards. We are officially done painting this room. David did such a good job. I did the cutting, but he did a majority of the rolling. So it's finally done. It doesn't look that dirty anymore. We used a really flat white Zinsser color changing paint. So it looks clean. We're just waiting for it to dry and then I will go in and decorate. Once the paint dried, I also went in and changed the vent cover. Vent covers are small yet effective changes. I stumbled upon this design on Pinterest and I loved it immediately because it has that beautiful blue color along with a full lime wash. If you know the designer, let me know. I wasn't able to find them at all. Now that I had a plan, it was time to transfer it onto the wall. So this right here is going to be the general plan for the room. Once we have this painted in like a semi blue / white, whatever, organic looking pattern, the side tables are going to go right here. The bed is going to be right here with pillows, and then we're going to have some type of sconce here. We're going to have the windows over here, and these are going to have some type of window treatment as well. So that's a pretty rough sketch, but that's essentially what it's going to look like. Once I figured out my measurements, I used a tack, a string, and a pencil to draw my circle, and I didn't mind that it wasn't perfect because I wanted it to look circular but also have an organic shape. Finally, we get to my favorite part, which is adding color to the walls, and it's funny enough that my pants kind of almost match the paint. I first started by tracing the circle, and then to attempt full lime wash, I started with a crisscross technique, which didn't work out, but I ended up fixing it, and you'll see how later on. Because I wasn't able to achieve the full lime wash look that I wanted, I still wanted to give this space dimension, so I went in with some white and then I feathered it out with Storm Chaser. I lost the audio to this clip, but essentially what I was explaining was that we swapped out the bed frame. So this is the one that we were originally sleeping on, and we brought this one into the guest bedroom. And I really like the wood tones against the blue. It makes it pop. Hello. So another thing that I wanted to do to upgrade the room is to change out the plates. So all the electricity in the house is turned off because I don't really know what switch on the breaker goes with which outlet or which switch. So I'm going to go ahead and change this super outdated like cream outlet to something a little bit more modern, and then I also have a matching white switch plate for that. And then including the switches, I'm gonna also be changing out the outlets that are visible. The ones that aren't visible, i.e. behind the bed, are gonna stay the same until I have time to change them. Make sure that before you switch any type of plate or outlet that your circuit breaker is turned off, and that you test the wires to make sure they're dead. I have a cheap $10 electrical tester, and as you can see there, it flashed, but it didn't stay on, meaning that the wire was dead. So I continue to remove the plate. I am by no means a handyman or an electrician, so I put down a few links below that shows you how to properly switch out outlets and light switches. So when changing out a light switch or an outlet, you essentially just want to replicate the ways that the wires are attached to the old light switch onto the new light switch. So I took off a wire on the old light switch and then I put that in the exact same position on the new light switch, and it worked like a charm. Make sure that when you're attaching a new switch or outlet that you also attach the ground wire. The ground wire is typically a copper wire that's attached to the bottom of your switch or your outlet. I have also seen it wrapped up in green rubber in my house too. I don't know if that's a indication that the builders had put in, but sometimes it was green and other times it was just a full copper wire. All right, we're gonna try it. Here it goes. Woohoo! We have light! It's worked! Okay, so I'm gonna turn this switch off again so that we can change the outlet. Again, the same rules apply to an outlet. Make sure that you use an electrical tester to make sure that it's dead. This outlet was different from a typical outlet because that light switch that we just changed is connected to this outlet. So one of the tabs on the outlet had to be broken off so that the light switch can control it. Last but not least, go ahead and put on your plate covers. So the plan was to put shelves somewhere off center on one of these, or two shelves, just to make the room look less symmetrical, since I have the bed in the middle, the two nightstands, and the two pendant lamps that are coming in. I was gonna originally make some minimalist looking shelves, not floating shelves, but some type of minimalist looking shelf. And then I remembered that I had these shelves from my old place and they looked a little orange, so I sanded them down, or the parts that you could see, as much as I could, just to expose the raw wood. And this house isn't terribly dusty, so I don't have to deal with finishing these or putting any type of poly on it to make it, to protect the wood. So I'm gonna try to see where I could position these and make them look good. I do want to put plants or some type of decorative something in there because this room is pretty blank. One of the tools that I would strongly recommend any person redoing their house have is a stud finder. This one here is actually an edge finder and it was cheap, so it didn't work that great. Eventually, I invested in a $50 stud finder and it works great. The room is slowly coming together. I finally got my lights, so I have to hang them up, but this is essentially what I wanted, and we're gonna try to hang up the lights and see if it works. David did put my shelves in. Pretty excited about that, and I have to probably go and get, I guess, different things to put on the shelf because a lot of these things are springy. So hopefully I can get something that is a little more transitional. I originally used a sawtooth picture hanger hooks, but when I started putting stuff on there, everything fell down. So Dee ended up just running a screw right through the shelf into the stud.
Sat at the table and you listened to a scream. I know we've had sure what to believe. Beauty queens and rock and rollers, crystal glass.
I got these 2 pendant lights as a Secret Santa gift from one of my coworkers, so thank you so much. You know who you are.
Bit of lesson to all that they told you. They took notes and put you on a pedestal. I'm Simon, I'm on my knees. Why are you so quiet, darling? Don't you know what this is?
So the lights are up. I'm not going to take credit for it because David hung up the lights while I was talking on the phone, and they look really good. I originally wanted to have black end tables, but the ones that I pulled off of Facebook Marketplace were white, which is completely fine. I was planning on spray painting them, but I kind of like them looking white because they look a little cleaner. I will have black accents in the room. I'm planning on getting some black looking or blackish decor for this, maybe changing that frame to something black. And then I'm gonna have a black curtain rod with maybe some light gray curtains. Another side project that I'll probably do in the future, because I saw Lone Fox do it on one of the makeovers that he did, was he actually sprayed the metal windows black. I'm not gonna be spraying these windows black, but I'm thinking about possibly doing, you see that brass right there? It's not really brass, I don't know what it is, but that metal, I was thinking about spraying that black. The gold brass-y hardware is all over this house, and I'm thinking about updating it. Although brass gold accents are really popular right now, I just want something a little bit more contemporary. Next, we had to figure out how high to hang our curtains and how far we wanted them from the window.
Nothing like your smile in the morning, following the linings on your cheeks. 'Cause baby, in your absence life is boring, so I'll never leave. It's easier to love when it's you by my side.
The curtains are officially up. I'm probably not going to use the little O-rings that I had anticipated, because even with the curtains just on the rod, they're pretty much dragging on the floor already. It's a healthy drag, not like ridiculously dragging on the floor, so it's a healthy drag, the healthy drag that I wanted. So it's likely that these are going to be saved for a different project. I really like that I overextended it because it adds a little more interest, and it also helps me save a little bit of money, so I don't have to put anything on the sides of the windows. I'm probably going to overextend the curtains in the other rooms as well because it looks really nice. So I'm going to clean up and change some bedding, and then I'll show you what the final guest bedroom makeover looks like. Even though I despise these blinds, I didn't have it in the budget to get new ones, and these are really effective, so I just decided to clean them. You know what lighting a candle means? It means that we made it to the end. If you can remember, this room was super blank and had no personality. Let's see where we took this. This room is perfectly imperfect, and I'm so excited to share it with guests. I hope they enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it over. Thank you so much for tuning in, and stick around for future episodes of the VC Project.
Summer left my heart feeling cold. Summer left me longing for the winter. Summer makes me wanna go. You and I have a story, you know. Surely there are some turns on the road. Learn from all of the places we go, we know.